Welcome to the TechMobility Podcast.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, my review of the Toyota Tacoma Trailhunter pickup truck, small nuclear projects gain momentum, and for sale, a land aircraft carrier. To join the conversation, call or text the TechMobility hotline at 872-222-9793, or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show. Also, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our platforms and social media, our YouTube channel, and our two podcasts, the TechMobility Podcast and TechMobility Topics. From the TechMobility News Desk, I want to talk to you about military preparedness and try to explain why the Pentagon wants to buy 10 used cargo ships to bolster an aging logistics fleet. This comes from American Shipper Ocean. It is a trade magazine that tracks shipping movements and what's going on in shipping around the world. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to what they call U.S. Transcom, which is the United States Transportation Command, which is one of the 11 unified commands of the United States Department of Defense. So what do? They coordinate missions worldwide using both military and commercial transportation resources, and is comprised of 3 service component commands: the Air Force's Air Mobility Command, the Navy's Military Sea Lift Command, and the Army's Surface Deployment and Distribution Command. The Joint Enabling Capabilities Command, which was part of the former U.S. Joint Forces Command, is now part of the U.S. Transportation Command. And I wanted to give you that because I wanted to give you some background before I got started. The head of logistics for the United States Armed Forces, the head of U.S. Transcom, is calling for the purchase of 10 used cargo ships to bolster the aging fleet that supports American military operations overseas. You can't deploy military without transportation. And chances are, if it's getting there, if your supplies, equipment, whatever you got, it's getting there via U.S. Transcom, some kind of way. They're the ones responsible for getting what you need there to the front or to the fighting or wherever our people are that need support. In his recent testimony to the Armed Services Committee, the head of U.S. Transcom expressed concern about the advanced age and declining readiness of the Ready Reserve Force, which is critical for positioning equipment and supplies from U.S. during conflicts or crises. Context for you. According to the logistics manager, the median age of the fleet, they have 46 what they call roll-on, roll-off ships that can support tanks, trucks, you name it, is 47 years. That means the newest ships in that fleet were built in the mid to late 1970s. With 14 ships of those 46, 50 years or older. That means they were built prior to 1975. I want that to sink in. 50 years or older. Some are even steam-powered. This aging fleet poses risk to U.S. Transcom's ability to rapidly deploy forces and equipment globally when needed. I gotta ask the question. The United States of America spends more on their military than any, honestly, not just any country, but the next 10 countries combined. Why is it that this is even an issue? And this is not the first issue I've heard. We've got a need for ice cutters in the Arctic. Arctic ice cutting ships that will go through ice. We don't have any. That's a problem, particularly now where ocean shipping and ocean deployment is going up through the Arctic. Thanks to climate change, it's not freezing as much, but you still need them. We don't have them. The problem is these kind of ships take years to build. It's not something you can get in 2 or 3 weeks. maybe 2 or 3 years, assuming you had the designs ready to go today. So far, now, I'm sorry, let me back up. To address this issue, U.S. Transcom is supporting a Navy strategy to recapitalize the government-owned Sea Lift fleet by acquiring used ships from the commercial market. So far, 7 used vessels have been purchased, with 2 more expected in fiscal year 2025. This will add over 1.5 million square feet of useful capacity. I got questions. If you're buying used, then how much more money are you going to need to refurbish them? And what will you need to do to make them compatible for military deployment in the U.S. Transcom way of doing things? Because obviously you can't just buy it and, oh, it's fine and go. And then there's training, parts, service, a million different things. It's a little more complicated. This is not like buying a car. It's a little more complicated of where they're going to support it. How is it different from what they're running now? And I'm assuming that they're newer. But even newer would still be 25, 30 years old. Would be newer than what they're running now. Can you even get parts for this stuff? And who are they buying them from? And why are they selling them? Are they surplus? Are they already tired and need to be refurbished? I mean, I just got a lot of questions. And nowhere in this piece does it say what these commercial roll-on, roll-off vessels cost a piece. They're not cheap. It's many millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, not counting any refurbishing or upgrading or compliance money that they need to spend on them to make them seaworthy for the use for which they're intended. Yeah. The logistics head also emphasized that more ships are urgently needed as 30 existing vessels are scheduled for retirement between 2026 and 2034. He called the ability to purchase 10 used ships vital to maintain credible deterrence globally. The largest power in the world, we've got the most sophisticated technology in the world. We spend billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars on our military. We're buying used ships to guarantee our supply chain to support our troops will not be broken. We are running ships that are older than most of the people in the United States right now. I mean, these ships almost qualify for retirement. That's ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. The general framed the recapitalization as part of a broader effort to preserve U.S. Transcom's unique capabilities in projecting American military power worldwide. He noted that no other nation or combination of nations can match the U.S. global airlift and sea lift capacity. He tied the need for fleet modernization to increasing challenges from adversaries like China, which he said is actively seeking to compromise foreign infrastructure and hinder U.S. mobility. He warned that our aging transportation assets, in the face of more capable adversaries, underscore the need for recapitalization across air, sea, and land mobility forces. And let me give you this little extra for free. Beyond a sea lift, the general also highlighted readiness concerns with the Air Force's aging KC-135 air refueling tankers and called for accelerated fielding of new KC-46 tankers. He described the air refueling fleet as U.S. Transcom's most stressed capability. That does not give me confidence that you may have the most modern fighting force on the planet, but if they can't move supplies and equipment to where they need it, when they need it, how they need it, because the support system is the weak link that should have never got to this point. But here we are. There was a lot of decisions made to get here. And now pleading to upgrade it, it should have never been that way. This should have always been top of mind, always should have been right along with our fighting men and women. Their support is vital. Interrupting a supply chain is the quickest way to bring a war or a conflict to its knees if the people can't get what they need. Whether it's weaponry, food supplies, mundane stuff that is required to run whatever you're dealing with when you've deployed troops. 10 used cargo ships, and that's the tip of the iceberg. They need more. They really need some new ones, because that's only really a stopgap if you're buying used. Coming up next is my review of the Toyota Tacoma Trail Hunter pickup truck. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the main place to be these days, and we are no exception. I'm Ken Chester, the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Facebook videos. From my latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary of a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Facebook. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. Be sure to subscribe to our Facebook page. Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. Tech Mobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcast to iHeartRadio and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter Tech Mobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.
Power. Harness it and nothing stands in your way. Introducing Toyota Tacoma, a powerful new line of champion trucks. Only Tacoma 4x4's 190 horsepower V6 outmuscles the leading competition's best. Only Tacoma 4x2's four-cylinder engine outruns the leading competition's V6s. And only Tacoma gives you class-leading payloads. Standard. Toyota Tacoma, the arrival of the fittest.
The Toyota Tacoma, a mainstay of the automaker's American lineup since its 1995 debut. That's 30 years ago. The Tacoma pickup truck was originally considered to be a compact, only its first generation. With the introduction of its second generation Tacoma in 2004, it moved up to a mid-size classification. Toyota designed the truck to better suit the needs of the U.S. and Canadian market, where even back some 30 years ago it was recognized that it would be used more as a personal vehicle rather than a commercial, agricultural, or for off-road purposes. The fourth and current generation of the Tacoma was introduced in 2024 and is built on the automaker's TNGA-F global body-on-frame vehicle platform, which it shares with the larger Tundra pickup. The latest Tacoma was designed by teams at Toyota's Calty Design Research Facilities in California and Michigan with their intention to, quote, be authentic to the way our customers use their trucks for rugged outdoor fun, unquote, according to Calty President Kevin Hunter. He went on to further explain that the truck was styled with the, quote, iconic Tacoma look, referred to as Tacomaness, unquote, including high lift, big tires, slim body, and a powerful athletic stance as inspired by prior Toyota Baja trophy racing trucks. This review is about Tacoma's first ever Trail Hunter model. Developed from the ground up for those seeking extended adventures, the Tacoma Trail Hunter builds upon Toyota's legendary off-road and overlanding credibility with purpose-built engineering and robust components. Exclusively powered by an iForce Max and available in a choice of 5 or 6 footbed configurations, it includes standard features like Old Man Emu forged monotube shocks, a low-profile high-mount air intake mounted to the A-pillar, 33-inch Goodyear Territory rugged terrain tires with an 18-inch bronze finish alloy wheels, and unique exterior features like Rigid Industries color switching LED fog lamps and the bronze-colored Toyota Heritage-inspired grille with an integrated LED light bar. Power for the Trailhunter is in fact generated by an all-new iForce Max hybrid powertrain. The iForce Max pairs a 2.4-liter four-cylinder gasoline engine with a 48-horsepower electric motor integrated exclusively into an 8-speed automatic transmission. The hybrid powertrain delivers 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque, a 75% increase in torque when compared to the previous generation V6 truck. The Tacoma Trailhunter comes standard with part-time four-wheel drive with an electronically controlled 2-speed transfer case. A front stabilizer disconnect mechanism is also standard for more serious off-road adventures. EPA fuel economy numbers are 22 city, 24 highway. Payload capacity is 1,710 pounds. Towing capacity is 6,000 pounds. So here's what I liked about the vehicle. What the automaker calls Tacoma-ness translates into a truck that boasts an aggressive, think military, rugged, good exterior looks. And it would be okay that as a result, you thought it was that you were looking at a full-size truck instead of a mid-size one. The new Tacoma has that kind of presence. Underway, the Tacoma Hybrid is strong, powerful, and responsive, and impressively smooth on the pavement. The Tacoma Trailhunter offers drivers 3 drive modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport, as well as a tow haul mode, descent assist control with crawl mode, trailer brake assist, rear axle lock with a manual shift mode. All these features allow the driver to optimize the truck's performance in just about any situation. Inside the passenger cabin, the driver enjoys a good outward view from the purpose-built interior. User-friendly displays, controls, and switchgear are built into a large landscape mode infotainment screen for easy viewing. Did I mention purpose-built interior? The Tacoma Trailhunter includes a large glove box, as well as plenty of nooks and crannies within the passenger compartment to store all kinds of stuff. The Toyota pickup also features plenty of USB ports for front and rear passengers. The Trailhunter also comes equipped with fog lights, a head-up display, and a heated steering wheel, because you know I love my heated steering wheel. The surround view camera system is handy both on and off-road. A light bar at the front of the pickup truck combined with a power rear tailgate, cargo bed mounted air pump, and electrical outlet just add to the ambiance, adds to what's going on. And let's not forget that factory installed snorkel air intake along the front passenger A-pillar. Even if you have no intentions of going anywhere near water levels that require it, it still looks pretty cool. So what did I like about the vehicle? Well, let me tell you. There was no A-pillar mounted hand grip for the driver, and the hand grip for the front passenger was of dubious value. The running boards are for show only, and they don't facilitate vehicle entry or exit. The turning radius for the Tacoma Trailhunter is very wide, and I thought bigger side view mirrors are needed. Now, editor's note, I know, surround view cameras, but sometimes mirrors are more than appropriate. The rear seating area wasn't heated, and legroom in the back seat was a bit snug too. Now, more in the rear seats. There's no single adjustment. There's no angle adjustment. So when folding the rear seats, they don't fold flat. And also beware, you'll have to move the front seats all the way forward to avoid having to remove the rear seat headrest should you want to fold down the rear seat for hauling. Finally, I thought for all this goodness and technology that the fuel economy numbers would be better. Much better. So here's the bottom line. There is nothing here to dissuade me that the new Tacoma Trailhunter pickup truck will be nothing but another smash success for Toyota. Because it really boils down to this. If you are looking for a bulletproof, reliable, purpose-built pickup truck, folks, this is it. The manufacturer's suggested retail price for the Toyota Tacoma Trailhunter starts from $62,900. Destination charges add $1,495. I want to say this right here. I know that the average transaction price is north of $50,000 now. And it's very easy to buy a pickup truck, $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000. I've actually reviewed them. But when it comes to this particular truck, I really think that it's money well spent because you're not looking at 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. You take care of this truck, there is no reason this would still be your companion 20 years from now, honestly. And against that kind of longevity, I believe the truck will rust out from underneath you long before it wears out. And that doesn't matter how many miles you put on the thing. It's that good. It really is. I wanted to add that. MSRP is tested. The Trail Hunter reviewed includes the following extra cost options: mud guards, ball mount, cargo bed mat, mini tie-down, tailgate insert black, and a spare tire lock. Total cost of the options, $549. Total MSRP, including options and destination charges, came to a total of $64,944. And considering other trucks that I would consider lesser that go for about the same money, this is still, I believe, a better deal. I really do. And yes, if you didn't want to spend that money, you can own a Tacoma for less. It'll have less equipment because this is one of, I believe, 6 different trim levels for the vehicle. So if you don't quite need all of that, but still like the truck, sharpen your pencil, visit your Toyota dealer, and you come up with something. Corporate legends step up to develop small nuclear reactors in the United States. This is the TechMobility Show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. If you missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the TechMobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the TechMobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, and we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the TechMobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. Corporate conventional legends Siemens Energy, and Rolls-Royce SMR are teaming up to develop small modular reactor nuclear projects. I guess that small-scale nuclear energy is having a moment after years of being out of favor. This is Topic B. This is the latest chapter in a fledgling rebirth, if you will, or reimagining of the nuclear power industry. Up till the late 1970s, before 3 Mile Island and before the 1980s at Chernobyl in Russia, nuclear energy was big, bold, it was big projects, years of construction. Problem is, between the environmental studies, all the permits you needed, all the delays, all the problems, it cost phenomenal. And a number of companies trying to build nuclear plants went broke. And I'm thinking of one in New England where I grew up, Seabrook being one of them, and a number of electric utilities that owned a piece of Seabrook. And the financial hardships that were brought on by the cost overruns and everything. With the 3 Mile Island accident, it was like suddenly nobody wanted to do nuclear energy at all. And trying to do it, people ran in other directions. Here's the problem with that. When you lose that, when you're not building new nuclear plants, you also lose all of the retained knowledge by the horde of people whose special work you needed. You couldn't just get a welder. You needed a special type of welder with a special type of skill set. You needed operators that knew what they were doing. A whole bunch of support staff that was specific to nuclear power plants. And when you're not building them, when you're not training people, that knowledge dies, retires, you lose it, which is part of the problem. Again, a little context. Right now, what they call, what I would call big nuclear, they call conventional nuclear. In the United States of America, conventional nuclear currently accounts for 18%, or almost 1/5, of the U.S. utility-scale electricity generation resource mix, according to federal statistics. After all that drama, approximately 20% of all the power generated in the United States is still generated by nuclear power. And you might be wondering, why nuclear power at all? What is the big deal? Why are we still fooling with it? Because it's clean. No pollution. Nothing. Side effects? Well, you have these fuel rods, which when they're done use, you've got to basically store them in a secure place for many years. So while it doesn't emit any pollution, the dangers of actually dealing with the plant outweigh, because that's a cost that may long be beyond the plant, even when the plant's decommissioned. That's a problem. A few years ago, we talked about process in Canada, where they started looking at small-scale nuclear energy generation. And the federal government started looking at some projects on their facilities to generate or develop small-scale nuclear. Now, why small-scale nuclear? 1, less problems. 2, cheaper to build. 3, the word modular. You can build one or several, and it costs way less. However, there are no small modular nuclear plants being planned or being built in the United States of America right now. There are companies looking at it. There's a utility near Omaha looking at it. The federal government's looking at it. Canada is building some demonstration plants. This is why these folks hooked up. Rolls-Royce SMR is contracting with Siemens Energy for a supply of conventional technology serving small nuclear projects projected over the next decade. Siemens Energy will be the sole supplier of steam turbines, generators, and other auxiliary systems for UK-based Rolls-Royce SMR Generation 3 Plus modular nuclear power plants. Interest and investment in SMRs are peaking as both large-scale customers and power generators plot their progress on paths towards both grid resource adequacy and sustainability objectives. Companies from Microsoft to Oracle and Amazon are seeking ways to power a fleet of coming data centers in the age of artificial intelligence and hyperscale cloud-based capacity. We've talked here about the demand of power of data centers with the rise of AI to crunch all that data and what that was going to cause. We also talked about, yes, EVs will be a contributing factor, but they're not the leading factor of the growth of electricity demand in the next 10 to 15 years. AI and the growth of data centers is actually it. Most folks know Rolls-Royce is a longtime developer of engine and power technology for automobiles and aviation. And that goes back to early 20th century, which actually, and you didn't know this, includes nuclear power generation since the 1950s. The company set up its SMR group in the past decade to develop a mini nuclear power plant, which is being designed to reach operations faster than traditionally built and utility-scale nuclear plants. And I believe the number I heard from the time they announced to the time the first electricity is generated in a nuclear power plant, right now that time frame is 29 years. It's a long time. That doesn't even count the cost overruns. It takes a long time. The Generation 3 Plus technology will feature pressurized water reactors capable of up to 470 megawatts in carbon-free output. Siemens supplies the power island or non-nuclear components of the reactor facilities. And they acknowledge that we are currently experiencing a global renaissance of nuclear energy. Numerous countries are turning to nuclear technology to produce low-emission electricity, and small modular reactors will play a key role in this. A Siemens Energy fact sheet on SMR nuclear notes that micro or small reactors operate much like conventional plants, harnessing uranium to create a nuclear fission reaction, which generates heat that converts water into usable steam for turbines, but on a smaller scale. compared to the 1 gigawatt units, such as Vogtle 3 and 4 in Georgia. And for the record, those came online in 2021. They are the newest nuclear plants, and it took forever to get them built. And I forget how many billions of dollars in cost overruns. But I believe they are the first conventional nuclear plants to be built and come online in the United States in at least 20, 30 years. It's been a while. A projected SMR plant takes up maybe 1/10 of the land compared to the footprint of a conventional nuclear power plant. They expect the first operational SMR to be completed in Europe by the early 2030s and maybe the mid-2030s for the U.S. since no facilities are currently under construction. No word here on Canada, and I know for a fact Canada is developing them in real time with a Hitachi and GE system. I know it because I reported on it, and I know that's the thing that's happening. So the question is, will we see these, and will they catch fire? Will they get the cost down to where they become a practical alternative, even to natural gas? We'll see. Imagine this, a land aircraft carrier you can buy. It's so cool. We are the TechMobility Show. To learn more about the TechMobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the TechMobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Did you know that TechMobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the TechMobility Show on YouTube. Check it out.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the TechMobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the TechMobility Show in the search bar. This next segment explains why, it's an example why, I really need to be going to the CES show in Las Vegas each year, because this was on display. And because we're both a technology and mobility show, yeah, it would work. So let me introduce you to what they call the land aircraft carrier. This futuristic marvel comes from the Aero HT subsidiary of the Chinese automaker Xpeng. You might have remembered them from last week when I talked to you about them offering a fully AI-empowered car. It combines an off-road capable 6-wheeled electric van with a detachable electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that is neatly folded into the rear compartment. I want one. Is this the future? This is Topic C. It looks cool. The whole concept is cool. And this is something they announced in 2024. They're building the plant now. They're expecting to go into production in 2026. And get this, you can buy one. You actually really can buy one. One small problem. It's going to cost you $300,000 each. And you know what? They already have 3,000 pre-orders at that price. You got to see it. I mean, it looks like an oversized van, but it's really stylish and really modern looking. And I mean, the thing they can do, first of all, this electric vertical takeoff and landing thing folds up into the back of this thing. So when you get to where you want to go, you stop. You can automate it so it automatically unloads itself, and then everything folds out. It is a 6-rotor aircraft with the type of redundancies that you would expect in any aircraft. The van itself, they call it the mothercraft, will carry 4 people. The aircraft itself will carry 2. The cool part about it, you don't need to have the knowledge of a pilot to fly it. You can set it to autonomous mode, or they've got this thing down to where you can control it with a joystick. That's all you need. They say you can learn how to fly it in 5 minutes and be efficient or proficient in it in 3 hours. Can you imagine? Talk about a game changer. I mean, and they showed this. This was actually shown in the United States at CES this year. Super cool. The aircraft has now completed its first test flights in China and received its type of certification approval. And they think it will apply to different customer types. This vehicle, which is really cool, and it looks cool, has a 6-wheel all-wheel drive setup and a differential lock that gives it real off-road ability, and the rear wheels turn. It will offer another dimension to people who fly. You can go anywhere with this thing. I mean, it looks cool. Get this. The van itself will use a range extender EV powertrain that will give it a combined range in excess of 620 miles. The aircraft folds up and can be automatically loaded into and unloaded from the rear of the truck. Its 6-rotor design with a 2-seat cockpit makes extensive use of carbon fiber to save weight. The shape of the aircraft was largely determined by the dimension of the truck. According to the developers, we had to follow the function. We needed to make it compact when it folded so there'd be room for passengers in the truck, and there were limits to the size of the truck so it could fit on the road. At present, it takes around 4 minutes for the aircraft to unfold from the truck, but their target is to get it at 3 minutes. We've got almost 100 engineers just working on the docking system. And while there's a couple of years' work left in development, they said, it's on track for first deliveries to begin at some point in 2026. I got questions. Obviously, being Chinese, I don't know if somebody wanted to import one, what the FAA would have to say about it, because the minute you get into airspace, it's an FAA thing. And when you're talking about traffic, NASA may even get involved, believe it or not. So I don't know how that works. Even though they said it will first be launched in China, but it's further along in securing the necessary approvals from road and air authorities, but they said their interest is global. If you saw this thing, you'd want it. Xpeng Aero HT is currently the largest flying car company in Asia. In Asia, right now. And last year, they actually did a display in the open. They demonstrated the flight process of the land aircraft carrier. The flying module took off vertically from the grass, circled once in the air, and smoothly landed. This represents a typical use case for future users. A group of friends or family can go on an outdoor adventure, camp in a scenic location, and experience a low-altitude flight to view the landscape from a whole new perspective. I can imagine seeing fall in New England from about 150 feet in the air. That would be so incredibly cool. A little more about the land aircraft carrier. It boasts what they define as a minimalist cyber mech design, immediately evoking the feeling of an otherworldly vehicle. It consists of 2 parts, and they said it can fit in a standard parking spot, by the way. The ground module, known as the mothership, and the air module. We talked about the 6-wheel, 3-axle design, and that's 6x6 all-wheel drive and rear-wheel steering, offering impressive off-road capability and payload capacity. And this uniquely large trunk where the aircraft is stored will offer a spacious 4-seat interior even with that. so you can have 4 people and your aircraft anywhere you want to go. The body design is sleek, with a continuous Galaxy Parabola contour line stretching from front headlights to the roof. The electronically operated double-hinge doors add a sense of prestige. The rear trunk features a semi-transparent glass design, allowing the stored aircraft to be subtly visible. Whether driving or parked, the car showcases how cutting-edge technology is entering everyday life. We have talked about virtual takeoff and landing craft on this program for as long as I've been doing this program, now about 8 years. Nowhere has anybody ever came up with a concept like this, which is so cool. I mean, it totally changes everything. Imagine you don't necessarily need a takeoff port from a building to launch a craft. You just need one of these. And the beautiful part about it, it charges the aircraft while it drives. So you don't have to worry about draining it and then having to get back to plug it in somewhere. You bring it back to the mothership and it will charge it. That's the cool part. It will charge it as you drive wherever you're going while it's plugged in automatically. And even the aircraft looks pretty cool. Consider it maybe a drone on steroids. And they talked about how many redundancies they've got built into this aircraft. Redundancies, triple redundancies, it's way cool. I would love to see this thing in person. I just would, because I think that this may be a suggestion of where the industry could go for certain applications, and it has legs. It really does, particularly when you talk about the autonomous aspect of the helicopter. We've come to the end of our visit. Be sure to join me again right here next time. This has been the TechMobility Show.
The TechMobility Show is a copywritten production of TechMobility Productions Incorporated. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use is prohibited without the written consent of TechMobility Productions Incorporated.
For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. TechMobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcasts to iHeartRadio and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter TechMobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, and we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the TechMobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. To learn more about the TechMobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the TechMobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the TechMobility Show. If you missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the TechMobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts to iHeartRadio and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the TechMobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.